Welcome back, everybody. This segment brought to you by MoneyLion, positively changing the financial path for every American. Embarking on your journey towards financial freedom and independence can be intimidating, but there are resources out there to make it easier. The dfree Global Foundation is a nonprofit looking to promote financial freedom through value-based principles and practical approaches to financial management. I sat down with Tamika Stembridge, Executive Director of the dfree Global Foundation, to find out more about this foundation. Take a look.
dfree is a transformational lifestyle movement that offers financial freedom to people through biblically based principles and basic financial concepts. It really is a movement that offers content, curriculum, and different programming aspects to get people on their journey to financial freedom.
Your career is so interesting because before getting involved with dfree, you were a lawyer working in the music industry. How did you get involved with dfree?
So I've lived dfree first and foremost, not even knowing that this is what I was doing. I went from corporate America to working for another nonprofit and then got invited to go to law school and then embarked on my career in entertainment. But with that, I never changed my financial lifestyle. And so our CEO and founder, Dr. Sories, actually is, my pastor, has been so for my entire life. So I went for help. I was like, I've done everything I've wanted to do. Is there anything else, out there for me? That is work of purpose. And, a couple months later, I'm here leading dfree and I never left.
And I never left. I love that. I don't have to tell you, Tamika, this is something we focus on a lot on the show. Women have been more greatly impacted by the pandemic, and this is heightened, of course, for women of color. What are some of the particular challenges Black women have faced when it comes to health, work, finances, stemming specifically from the pandemic?
So we've always been the primary caregivers in our family. And then, after entering the workforce, we may or may not be the breadwinner in our household, but we're definitely the financial decision maker. And so when the pandemic hit, you think about the person that's solely responsible for taking care of the family. You're working, you're trying to make sure that everybody's safe and secure. It wears on you. And so being the primary, person that's responsible for your family, it's really been difficult for Black women, and not to mention everything else that's happening around the pandemic with social injustice and everything else, that's been going on in the world, even up to this very moment. It is just a lot to bear. And so because we're so busy caring for everyone else, we tend to not necessarily think about ourselves from a health and holistic perspective. And so it really has been a challenge, but we're weathering the storm, literally. And so, we're here continuing to fight, for what we need and for what our families need, but it really has been challenging.
I have no doubt. We know dfree helps people take steps to change their financial behavior. What are some of the initial steps, Tamika, people should take to achieve financial independence?
I would say identify your money story. Think about how you originally learned about money, whether someone taught you or you just learned it through experience. And then take inventory of where your money is, what's coming in and what's going out. And then try to identify, the products and services and resources that make sense for your life. I would be amiss to say, our partnership with MoneyLion has really helped people to put their finances in their pocket. So everything from your savings, your insurance, your investing activity, really understanding your financial heartbeat and where you are today, even as you're planning for tomorrow.
What do you see as some of the challenges that many people have when it comes to financial independence, especially within this community?
I would say, consumerism and pressure is a big deal. We're on social media. If you're anything like me, you follow famous people. You see Beyonce behind me. You're seeing things and observing things, and there are things that you desire in your life. And with things being so tough in the world, it really is easy to respond to life through retail therapy. And so I think tapping into why you're doing what you're doing financially and really getting to the root cause of what's going on is really what helps to drive the behavior change. So if you realize, you're calling Amazon, or you're purchasing on Amazon, or going to Target to deal with the heavy load that you're carrying, I'm really tapping into the root cause of that and not trying to respond with your wallet.
That is such good advice. By the way, side note, I was noticing your background. It's one of my favorites, and the Beyonce poster might be my favorite. Before I let you go, Tamika, moving forward, how do you see the work at dfree evolving, and what does this mean for the Black community?
we're digital now. We went fully digital once COVID started. And, we used to be a movement that we're grassroots. So we traveled from church to church, community to community, group to group. But now we're all digital 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so that has really helped us to reach more people, to make financial freedom more accessible to our community. And it's really given us the opportunity to get a lot closer to the people that we serve. And so it's been a really, really positive experience. I will say, in spite of all that we're experiencing, we just crossed $30 million in debt paid down from the dfree community. And so we celebrate that. And so, the more and more that we can bring to our people, the more frequently we can do that through digital means is really going to help shape our future.
And I just want to reiterate, you heard right. That was $30 million in debt down. That was my interview with Tamika Stembridge, Executive Director of the dfree Global Foundation. Now we can bank, borrow, save, and grow all in one app. Visit MoneyLion.com to learn more.